It's another beautiful Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Moriah Afolabi Brown. Always, I have my co-hosts. Hi, ladies.
Hello, Moriah.
Maki, you're maintaining your orange so far this week.
I had to undo my hair yesterday, so I just said, don't change your polish. It took me about 2-3 hours. So. Whoa.
Okay.
I've undone it. Now, I'm going to...
You're going to be wearing orange all week?
No.
You're changing?
Maki
changes her polish every single day. She changes her colors.
Next time, they will now show my nails.
How are you doing, though?
I'm fine. I forgot to mention yesterday that, you know the TV series I'm doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It started airing on Monday.
Oh.
I went for the screening.
Auntie Annie, the actress.
told us
So,
now.
I put it on our WhatsApp this
Easy.
thing. Yeah, you don't see anything now. So, but I put it there. Only Nima responded.
So is it once a week?
I tried. I immediately tried to.
But she missed it.
Is it once a week?
No, it's every day.
Every day? Oh.
It's
But it's for the big people on the
It's
package.
a series.
Please, let me know.
The big
I didn't know.
package.
The big package, okay.
Full bouquet.
The
Full
full.
bouquet. So it's not on this compact like us.
Thank you.
I don't know. You don't get Africa Magic. Is it not Africa Magic or something?
Anyway, let's move on to... I watch concerts.
Oh, okay.
I watch concerts.
Okay. Okay.
How you doing,
I shall tell
Elijah?
them to syndicate.
Yeah,
To play.
Yes.
To
How are you doing? Yeah, like
Yes,
Jadari.
Moriah gave me a wonderful opportunity on Monday to represent her at the N Radio launch.
Yes.
And it was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I enjoyed myself. N Radio people that are doing what they want to do is an Islamic radio platform where the right narratives will be told
On Islam.
about Islam. So we are not the terrorists, we are not the Boko Haram, we are not the ISIS. You want to hear it, this is how we do it.
About
We don't
time.
shake
It's
hands,
a good
this is
one.
why. You know, someone will be projecting the right message. So people
Fantastic.
get, the strangeness of it will no longer be the norm, but you know, the
Fantastic.
people will be
That's
familiar
good. That's
with
good
it.
news. So hopefully we'll do more things with them because we'd like to
Hopefully.
be part of that kind of a project.
Yes.
How are you doing, Topsy?
I'm good. I can be better.
Right.
I can be better, but I'm good. I want to, as usual, shout out to my highway managers. Keep on doing a good job you're doing. Surprisingly, Moriah, you know, the elections are coming up, local government chairman election. Yes. The people that I have seen, some of their flyers, young people. I saw one woman, a lady, young lady, contesting, I think, Ward E, Oregon area as a councillor. And I'm like, this is good. You have Obafemi George, Dio Israel.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I think that we're
supporting of the young guys. I saw
would
some Babas,
support.
some Babas are there. I'm seeing some Baba posters. And I'm like, please.
They are going for primaries. The delegates must know who they are voting for.
Yes.
And then the delegates within each party should vote for the younger ones.
Yeah, well, your governor too is young now.
That's the idea now. We want young people like that.
That's the idea.
All
Young
through.
people.
But
Between 35 and 45.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody
Fashola
more.
was
It's
young.
delegates,
Yeah.
yes.
Delegates Loma Bankoja.
Yeah, so I'm
They should
saying
not go and
delegates,
vote a
yes,
non-face.
yes.
They should trust the young ones that they do.
It's their constitutional right to run. But we are saying as young people, we want young faces in the local government because let's do things. Let's even let them know that listen, we count. We can do it. So once we make our minds up
You
to
young people.
yes, Waiki, you don't qualify to be.
You just look it.
Don't worry, I'm not even trying to qualify for anything.
So,
this is the
big
age I
ups-
want to enjoy my life.
Big ups to all the young candidates. Well
That have
done.
taken the step.
Well
Yes.
done to them. So happy and proud of you guys. Regardless of the party, we're just happy that you're doing great out there. Have you guys attended any ward meetings recently? Because I've been asked. We need
No,
to
I
attend.
haven't.
We need to attend. I'll ask them.
Ask around. Let us know.
Let's take.
So
a
you
break.
mean you are just boasting here? You have not attended any
She hasn't-
meeting?
she hasn't.
You
She
see
said
what
she
I'm
will.
saying?
She
You
said
see,
she
this
wants
is the
to.
Nigerian
Let's
problem.
take a break.
This is the Nigerian problem.
When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspapers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're starting with the Punch. Something wrong with my coffee today. It's not just right. I don't know. My husband's health not as bad as being perceived. Aisha Buhari. The Arewa ACF fumes as Afenifere Ohanizi NBC back Akonde on Buhari's health. Picture here, ex-governor Lamido rejects bail conditions, remanded in prison. Ex-PDP chieftain Ogundokun vows to remove Iwo monarch. 2014 confab members meet in Abuja, insist on report implementation. NNPC, Chevron and Total to build 2 power plants. Confusion as fire got Akiolu's palace in Lagos. Core member arrested for breaking ATM in Kogi. And Senate panel recommends suspended SGS prosecution. Forex, CBN bars 16 banks from SME windows. And federal government yet to prosecute high-profile corrupt person, says Obasanjo. Okay, we taking the headline, my husband's health, or should we take the human
Action
angle?
Can we
word.
take the
About
caucus member?
The core member.
Yeah, in
the
Kogi State.
youth corps member.
Oh, really? What happened to him?
What happened to him? Abi,
Two
he
people.
happened to
I
the
didn't-
ATM. Two of
He
them.
happened to
Two of
went
them.
I didn't read the
to-
article.
Im-
Go ahead.
he-
Ecobank ATM.
Yeah, they went to the EcoBank ATM.
And were
The
breaking
police said that they were with an axe and a hammer. The police said that they were looking at what is this funny thing happening there. When they got there, they were there breaking the ATM.
Oh.
The ATM machine. They wanted to
Core
steal.
member, 7.
A 7 core member.
In Kogi State. Funny enough, the police the report also carried the fact that they've caught about 10 people in recent time,
Yes.
5 suspected Boko Haram members. So I think the police department in Kogi State seems to be
And they even
very
said
active.
he even admitted to having done some.
Okay.
Other infractions.
Any other story?
Let's take the
I
headline.
want, no,
The headline,
we
let's look
can
at-
take that somewhere else. Please, I want to talk about the CBN
Barring
banks.
16.
Yes, because the fact is that CBN has said that, had said a few weeks ago that there is a loan available for SMEs to access
$20,000,
forex,
yes,
access forex if they go through the procedure. And CBN is saying that some banks have not been giving out this money, and those banks have now been barred from doing it. There are two sides to the story, and people are saying that the documentations have not been properly filed and all that.
Let's take the major headline, though. My husband's health is not
Yeah.
as bad. Yes, go
Okay,
ahead.
Mrs. Aisha Buhari on her Twitter and Facebook handle was, tweeting that Nigerians talking about her husband's health and saying that my husband, yes, might be sick, but he's not as bad as that. And she tweeted
Action
that presently,
word, bad.
So it's bad,
that
but not
presently
as bad.
he's having a meeting with the Attorney General as well
the
as
Minister of
the,
Justice.
He had the
NNPC
2
GMG.
meetings. He went to the
Yes,
office
he did.
yesterday.
So
And people are saying that she tweeted at around 6 o'clock that
Yeah.
the meeting was.
I believe
ongoing.
her.
The
I
meeting
just,
took
I'm
place around
encouraged.
1 p.m.
I feel better. I don't know. Some people don't believe, but I do.
I want to trust this woman because
I do.
she's doing something that is not conventional.
Yeah, right.
This is the first time we have a first lady who ever spoke about her husband at the other
That
room
is not
drama.
as bad.
No, the other room drama. She
Okay, let's
spoke
move on.
about politics. She
Let's
talked
move
to
on.
her
We're spending too much
husband
time on Punch.
online. So
All right. But at least
let's
that's the
trust her on
situation.
this one.
Moving
We'd like
on
to see
to
our
the
president.
nation. Buhari's health. North warns rumor mongers. Picture here of Anthony Joshua. Excitement in Shagamu over Joshua's victory. And Aregbesola signed Isiaka Adelike's inquest order. So I heard from reading this article that there's actually a viewing center for Anthony
And the
Joshua's
Itaoba.
match.
As an Ijebu
the
person,
Taoba.
we have to claim our own of Ijebu descent.
But I was quite disappointed, something I must say, because this is a huge story that should have been followed from day one. The moment he was ready, it was going to be.
Well, did you hear that she came to Nigeria to ask to play, to fight for
We
Nigeria?
discussed that already. I'm saying that the point I'm disappointed in is the fact that somebody
Didn't
like
get
this
coverage.
we should have covered it properly. Someone like this was going to go for that kind of bout. We should have actually had a camera crew assigned to that place, because from this article, over 2,000 people were there.
No,
to watch the match.
he broke a world record.
Yes.
So I think that at the end of
Nigerians
the
are
day,
We didn't see that. We
We
didn't,
like
we
to
didn't, we didn't
claim.
capture those
Yes,
moments
we like
because
to claim.
the 2,000 viewers and even the Oba's Palace said there was a party that night, all night. So
We have a
those
culture.
are things, these are memorable pictures that we should have actually had.
We have a
And
culture
I
of
think-
not supporting
think
our own.
The funniest, well, it wasn't in the story, but in the papers. But Juliet, who is our, she told us this morning that he actually came to Nigeria
Right.
and wanted to
It was in the papers. We talked about it on
It
Monday.
was in the papers
about-
on Friday.
Yeah.
works for Nigeria.
We talked about it on Monday.
And we drove him away.
We didn't drive him away. We said that we had already selected our own team.
Yeah,
that he
right.
should go and play, he should go and fight for the
so
London
why
he's
we
coming
now-
from.
And now we are all hailing and you see. it's
Moving
like-
on to
brother.
Daily Sun. Daily Sun.
It's our son.
They want
Where is
to give him
health?
award now.
Where is health tops IBB OBJ Abdusalami's talks? Senate committee recommends SGS prosecution. 2019, Buhari's posters flood Abuja Makurdi. Fire raises Oba of Lagos's palace. Airline bundles disabled pastor out of aircraft. And Anambra, workers endorse Obiano for second term. I want to talk about Obiano's story, but let me let you take the
disabled
airport.
pastor was a Ghanaian pastor on his way to Nigeria, and he took a particular airline. I don't want to mention the name, and you know he was told that the airline had cancelled, that he should come off. He had taken his seat and they called him off the flight. They were using a wheelchair to take him off when he heard that that same flight was being boarded and they were about to fly. The guy just left him in the rain like that and, you know, said it was because we don't have facility for disabled people that were not helping you. And this same disabled person was saying that if he was in Nigeria, the way they treat him in Nigeria is totally different from the way they treat him in Ghana. I'm saying that, yes, let's take credit this time that Nigeria will do things better, but disabled people, wherever they may be, whether Ghanaian or Nigerian, they have rights.
Yeah.
And, you know, we must respect this right.
Because that doesn't make any sense. They have no right to eject him from the plane.
It's actually a Ghanaian airline, so you have to take it up in...
Yeah, so they can take it up. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure he can actually...
They didn't refund his money. They told him to come to Nigeria to collect his money.
Wow, that's crazy.
And
okay,
really sad.
so Anambra is saying that they're endorsing their governor for second term. I read the article because it was saying that Anambra is the safest state to be in. They are investing a lot in infrastructure, education, the salaries and pensions and all that have been paid on time.
It's called the alert governor.
The alert governor because your money is paid on time. So it's not only Ambode that is working. There are other governors that are working.
We've always said
it about that. Every state that they follow through, the next person that takes over doesn't just undo whatever was done previously. So he took over from Peter Obi and he continued. Peter Obi was already laying a good foundation. Continuity is better for every government.
Fantastic. We saw that in Lagos also.
Yes.
Moving on. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about the state of Buhari's health. It was in the nation and is also reiterated here. I think that as a nation, we're all picking sides. The Arewa Consultative Forum has said that people shouldn't pick on his health as an issue. We should all pray for him. As much as it is the northern leaders that are saying this, the southern leaders should say the same thing also. We must all realize that this is our president. He's not the president of the north-south. It's for all of us.
I think, what's our guest on Friday? The celebrity Kanayo stated it perfectly. It's all nobody wishes him dead. It's important, but however, according to what Professor Wole Soyinka, let us know what is wrong with him.
Exactly.
Let us know the ailments, so we can actually, he owes us that much.
You know how serious
he does.
Yes, he owes us that much.
We must always remember that they are public servants and they owe us. We voted them into power, so they have to explain. I'm sick.
Right.
Nobody is saying you shouldn't be sick.
Exactly.
Now. Anybody can be sick.
You have an alternative.
Moving on to Vanguard. State of Nation, Obasanjo, IBB Abdulsalami meet. Grass-cutting contract, Senate final report indicts. Suspended SGF Lawal. Senate begins screening of 27 REC nominees. And CBN bars 12 banks from SME Forex window.
I'm happy about the REC nominees being finally, because it should have been done a while back. They were using the Senate was saying that based on the fact that the president keeps submitting Magu's name, that until Magu steps down, and a lot of people, the outcry was that we shouldn't have done this. You can't be politicizing issues that have to do with the election. So
concerning this SGF thing, I thought he refused to appear for the Senate. So how do you indict somebody that refused to?
No, the probe went on now, and we have laws. In fact, I read the report of the Shehu Sani-led committee, and I think they've done a wonderful job.
Really?
Because for every recommendation, it was backed by law. We have laws, and you know, presently till now, as we speak, is still a signatory to all the accounts of this the company in question, another company, several other companies. He awarded contracts while sitting as director of companies, and this was verified by CAC. They followed due process in this report.
Excuse me, isn't that conflict of interest?
Yes, that's why they said to be fired and prosecuted.
Abuse of position for personal interest.
Right.
It is a crime.
Okay, but the Moshibajo they're coming up with their own
tomorrow.
That's an administrative panel. This is a Senate probe, and this, based on this, the right authority agency should be doing the right thing.
All right,
and prosecuting.
That's all we can take on front page review. Up next, protests over Sule Lamido's arrest, and later on Let's Talk, identifying an ideal crutch in Nigeria. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Yes, thanks for staying with us. So, thousands of supporters of the former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, embarked on violent protests after his arrest. According to the report that we read, Sule Lamido is standing trial on a 4-count charge of inciting public disturbance, defamation of character, criminal intimidation, and disturbance of public peace. However, in a statement signed by his spokesman, Dayo Adeyeye, the opposition party declared that the government of the All Progressives Congress, APC, are simply arresting and detaining prominent opposition leaders because of their fear of losing elections. Now, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-80668014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read your tweets. So, who read this article? I mean, we mentioned it yesterday on the papers, but now he's being remanded in prison.
Since Friday.
Since Friday, yes. And he rejected his
bail.
Bail
Was rejected.
He didn't reject the bill. They refused to give him bail.
Right.
They said they will hear his bail hearing
today.
Yes.
on the 4th.
That's all.
After the election.
Right.
Yeah. So,
yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say here that I was watching one of the foreign news channels, and they were talking about the British Prime Minister who is trying to destabilize the Labour Party. And the guy was saying, look, you cannot have a healthy democracy if you don't have opposition.
Strong oneself.
And what is happening, and I see the same thing happening here, maybe it's because they colonized us, they are copying us or we are copying them. I don't know who is copying who now. They cannot keep stopping the opposition.
So do you think this arrest is purely an anti-PDP?
That is what is being
played out,
bandied.
Okay, all right.
Presently, we don't have an opposition, so to say. But in this particular report, the Ahmed McCarthy-led PDP are the ones saying that they are being oppressed because a local government elections will hold soon. This man in question committed a crime to which an audio and video recording of was presented to him at the police station.
And the crime was actually, again, the section 113, 114, 393, and 394 of the Penal Code. Right.
Because the Constitution says that he is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Right. That is the reason we have this issue of whether arresting him and being tried.
Because the report that they sent to me,
we read that on Monday.
Read it yesterday, right? He said that
on Monday,
the only reason
it wasn't in the papers
he said, I will come and bail
Friday.
you, but not until you must have cut off somebody's head. That is prior to elections. That is a tense period when you will be saying such things at a rally. And you don't know the minds of who you can wash. The brain of whoever can be washed that, you know, would act on such saying.
Who was he talking to?
His supporters at a rally.
He said, don't tell me to come and bail you out until I hear that you've cut somebody's head. So those are the inciting statements that was recorded.
We've seen these things happen over too many times in Nigeria. In Rivers State, in the north, these things happen all the time.
Right.
We calmly politicize because, you know, we have an election at hand. They don't even have their house together to call them an opposition. I would like to have an opposition.
Let me bring this angle to it, because isn't this I don't know, because when I read this report and other reports recently, the Emir has been talking about young people, how the North needs to wake up, how they need to invest in education, the girl-child education, and reduce maternal mortality and all that. And even recently, Atiku Abubakar actually also he echoed the same thing. Dogara, everybody's talking around that. Do you think that the northern youth should actually not be consumed by this kind of politicking and see beyond your politician telling you have to cut somebody's head? They should look beyond this and start use this opportunity to start saying that, listen, these people don't have your interest. I mean, well, maybe it seems as though many of these leaders don't have the youth's interest at heart, asking you to kill before he can bail you out from prison.
Anyone that says that you should cut off someone's head doesn't have your interest at heart. One. Number two, if somebody is the one feeding you, if he tells you to cut off somebody's head, you will cut it. True. When you have no other source of income, which is the narrative around the fact that the elites in some areas of this country are perpetually putting some people beneath, so that whenever they need thugs, they have a ready army to pull out. So I am happy that he's been put in prison, and I'm happy that the law is being followed, which is sentence him to court. The process is ongoing. They've adjourned it on the 4th of May. The statement of politicizing the situation, which is what happens every time. And I understand there's an election and they can put the undertone of election to it, but did he commit a crime or not? Yes. He's going which ones? He committed a crime. He said something he shouldn't have said.
But it's a bailable offense now.
They are not saying they will not bail him. It is a court trial. Sorry, Tope. his counsel had brought a bail application, the other person had countered, and the judge is saying, I've listened to both of you, I would decide. Also, so he adjourned for just 1 day. If it was one unknown man,
they were done for 1 month.
They were done for 1 month. Judge will even go on vacation. What will happen? Nothing will happen just because it's election. And we have media power. We are screaming.
When are the elections?
Okay, hang on.
I don't even know the date.
Let me take this call from Alex. Morning, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Good morning.
Aleoko, thanks for calling. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
They are arresting Lamido for inciting violence or inciting this thing. What about the people who are in government? A policeman, a sergeant, a corporal, said if Buhari died, he would kill 200 people. As the police IG arrested that policeman up to today, he sent that tweet on Facebook and he has it.
That's true.
Sent it online. Till today, for the past 1 month, that man has not been arrested. He's an Hausa man, a policeman. Isn't it? You can't kill opposition. You can't kill opposition.
That's all I'm saying.
Sorry, is one man opposition?
That's an important point.
Is one man opposition?
That's an important point.
He's in the opposition.
That's an important point.
He can't even verify that man wasn't arrested. We can't verify that he has been arrested. But that doesn't make what Sule Lamido has done not a crime.
And
that's not absorbed him.
Is not opposition. Every party constitutes. They should have an ideology and people that are gathering together.
Simple.
It's more than one man. They can decide to channel this in the opposite and say that the fact that you have held our own person, we are going to go all out and vote.
But I'm told that President Buhari actually called for that man's arrest. That said that he'll kill 200 people. But we don't know if anything has happened. But do you realize that people actually bring in that ethnic play? Because in the past they'll say, oh, they didn't arrest any northerner. Now they arrest another now. Oh, it's because he's PDP. They always find things, either party lines, ethnic lines, or religious lines. Maybe we need to start looking beyond which what you're saying. Is it a crime? Yes or no? There are certain areas, certain situations that yes, maybe someone like Dasuki, for example, is still in prison. Those kind of things we can bring to play.
Sentiment.
But in this kind of issue, a crime was committed.
Zaki is still in prison. He's been there.
Zaki, yes.
These people have been there almost 2 years. No trial. They haven't been to listen. They haven't been to court. Is it legal?
That's illegal.
It's wrong now.
That's an abuse of due process.
This guy has supporters, and apparently, according to someone this morning, said he's actually a very popular
Lamido
person in Jigawa State. That was why there were all the protests when they.
Okay, let me take Ahmed from Bauchi. Ahmed, are you there? Ahmed, are you there? From Bauchi, thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. We're having trouble hearing you. Oh, sorry about that.
Murayo, I've always said on this culture that why is it that when issues come up, people, in order to protest, end up killing or committing crime? There's no need. You can raise your placards, go to the police station, go to the governor's house. Don't destroy private people's properties. Don't destroy houses or burn anything up. You can protest and raise that placard and say, release our Sule Lamido. Release him, but don't kill or hurt anybody.
Let me take this call from Benin, then I'll take tweets from YK. Thanks for calling. Morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead, please.
What is happening in this country is really bad. If you are in a position and you do anything, they will go after you. Like the earlier caller said, somebody called from somebody said they were going to keep over 200 people if Buhari died. Up to now, the man has not been arrested. Nothing has been done about the man. Only that man was in PDP. By now, the police go after him. It's really long.
Right.
Kalawale Akindele says, please, let's get our facts right before we conclude. We have not seen the video or the recording, so let's wait, then we can crucify. Taurik's rule, those are his supporters. No Nigerian politician is worth my protest. I rather protest corruption and hunger. Daniel, hey ladies, Sule Lamido should face the full wrath of the law. He wants to sprawl violence and killings. He should go to jail. Dada Olowo says, who threw the one that said monkeys and baboons will be soaked in blood in 2011? Romy Ima says, please stop justifying the dictatorial tendencies. I will not go.
Okay.
I will not finish that one, even though I shall retweet
it. Okay. All right. So are we done with this? All right. Any other points on it? All right. Let's take a break now. When we come back, we discuss identifying an ideal crèche in Nigeria. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
One of those topics.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. The administering of sedatives or drugs to children left in the care of daycare operators has become a growing concern. The number of infants in crèches has increased, and most people attributing the trend to the demand thrown up by the society at home and the need for it. There have also been reports of children who died in daycare centers due to negligence. So we ask, what are the signs to look out for in a crèche? Joining us on the show is a safety expert, Olajuwon Ajiboye. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning. You can call us on 070-80668-014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. So, Olajuwon, when we heard about this crèches giving sedatives to kids to keep them calm, make them sleep, it got everybody concerned that, can this happen in Nigeria? Is it happening here? And when some people are saying, yes, so they heard this, they heard that. So let us call you to come and explain to us, how do we know, as a mother, so first of all, selecting a crèche for your child, what do you look out for, first of all?
Okay, as a mom, let's start from that. Your intuition, getting to a school. The first thing you look at the environment. You look around, you ask questions. What we do basically is we overlook so many things. We see things wrong in the schools and the crèches, and we're, I can't be bothered. We don't ask questions. Okay, how many teachers? What's the ratio of the carers per children? Right. You have classes, overclogged with children, and we're not raising concerns. Right. We don't talk to the head of teachers. What are the policies in place to keep those children?
But when we do talk to these people, they'll give you the marketing response. Oh yes, we only have these, but there has to be those subtle things that we should notice that may help us to understand that the kind of crèche we're coming in.
And that's where one-to-one communication with other parents comes in.
Right.
We should, when we're going to school, let's not just leave it to what they say to us, because they're there to market,
exactly.
Parents.
Right.
They're there to tell us, oh, the school is this, the school is fantastic. No, they shouldn't tell us that. Even if they've told us that, okay, this and this and this is, what they have, the facilities they have in their school, we should go a little bit further to talk to parents. We should evaluate the children themselves. We should look at them. It should be an open thing. Taking your child to the crèche, you should have at least 2 hours, 3 hours, to observe a child, right. To observe the teachers, right. To see what exactly they are doing.
Excuse me. Okay. Can I just come in there?
Yeah.
If I want to pretend to you that I'm a good person, if you observe me for 6 hours, I will behave myself as if I'm a good person.
Right.
Once you go, that child, I will slap it. So your observing cannot, I don't think,
right.
Can change a bad crèche to a good one.
Right.
That's my or my thinking. Because if I want you to know me as I am, I will let you know. If I don't want you to, if I want you to know me as,
and that's
ABC
where the parents come in.
I will
talking to parents.
Okay.
Do you understand?
That's where the school authority comes in. And their role is to provide a CCTV camera in all the classes.
Right. So those are the things you should look out for.
So those are the things you should look out for. I'm taking my child to school. I'm asking questions. What facility do they have in place? I want a school whereby I'll be able to say, okay, let's go back, to, let's say, what happened in the class. We should be able to see. I walked up to a school and a nanny, was actually shaking and, hitting the bum of a child.
In this country?
Yes.
Wow.
In this country. And I told her, I said, what are you doing, ma'am? She said, no, I'm rocking the baby. I said, no, you're not rocking the baby. You're abusing this child.
Right.
A 3-month-old baby.
Whoa.
No, it's
So
we
rock
like that.
we rock. There's a difference between hearts and there's a difference between you doing shaking.
Let me
shaking.
bring this angle into it because I have a baby. And I always wonder what the mind of the employer is. Maybe the owner of the school has a good intention,
yes,
but doesn't know how to study the person's. Everybody's looking for jobs now. So
yes,
like I tell you, I can be a good girl just to get a job.
Yeah.
But personally, as a mom, I cannot handle myself now. I cannot handle more than 2 per time in my house. In fact, there are moods that I am in and I don't want to have a baby or a little child that I'll be caring for when I'm busy. So some people are like that, but some people naturally they are just, they are just
teachers,
caregivers. They don't know better but to love a child. If they have a child at hand, they can love at least 6 or 7 of them at a time. So how do you spot a good caregiver for a crèche as an employer, and then what can you do to better train them? Now, if a person has the potential, what can you do to train them?
Right. Okay, this bounces back to the school authority. There's something we call psychological interview. At the interview stage, you talk to them, you're looking at them. Some that naturally these ones are, caregivers, and some are just looking out for jobs. They just want to, work with children. Oh, I love children. No. There are different stages in childhood. You have from 0 to 2, from 2 to 3, you have toddler, you have the crawlers. So it's your passion as a person. This is what the school administrators would pick before they employ any teacher.
Okay, I would like to come in here, but there was something I observed. I went to some school, and I know the principal, and she was so proud of one of her employees, who is like an older woman. She's in, I think, early 60s, strong, so she had that mama, she's the kindergarten, she's this, she's that. So one day I went there without, my friend didn't know that I was coming, and I saw the woman, rapper, doing like mommy. She didn't have the decorum of a nurse or a modern caregiver. It was more like, listen, hold one child like this, hold the other one like that kind of things that your grandmothers do, So although she trusted her as an older woman, but she just didn't have those proper procedures that professionals would engage for those kind of institutions. So going back to observing, as a parent, I wouldn't take my child to that kind of place. But some people say, I'd rather put my child with that mother, 60-year-old woman that I know that she can do. So how as a parent, what should I look out for? As you said, CCTV is important, but what should I do? Should I look out for somebody who is trained in all the CPR, or do I just look for somebody who is old, who I know that is a good caregiver? She's a trusted person. What should I be looking out for as a parent?
You should look out for trained, skilled professionals.
Right.
I'm sure we all take why do we take our funds to the bank? So that it is secured. If we can,
banks, with your phones.
So if we're taking our children to schools, to crèches and all that, we should look for somewhere that, it's somewhere that would keep them safe. I say to people, is a child that has gone to school safe, a child that came back home safe, is the one that has gone to school to learn. First thing first is the safety of a child. It's not about, there's a grandma in school, there was one thing that was trending recently, that a child was choking, and I think a child drank poison, and they gave the child palm oil.
Right, we're going to get to that.
That is a grandmother's thinking.
Right.
That is not a professional way to handle that situation. Right. No, we shouldn't.
So going to safety now, what would you advise is the approach in that kind of situation?
Before every child giver, number 1, should be first aid, CPR, EED certified.
Right.
So that is one of the things that you look out for.
That is what, you should look out for. And that is what Lagos State is coming to do now. We're going to schools to say, where are your certificates? Are you trained? Do you know what to do? Emergency preparedness. What would you do in an emergency response?
Exactly.
As a carer, what should you do? We panic a lot. The first thing we Nigerians do is to panic.
Yeah.
Or we start taking pictures, yelling,
No, I was just going to say that I was just going to ask you that, don't you think there should be regulatory bodies for all these schools, not just the nursery schools, the primary schools, all the schools? They need regulatory bodies. They need to.
They have them. It's not being. They don't follow through. They don't follow through. I
Where
want to
are
ask
they?
you a question. They come. The schools are supposed to be certified.
Inspectors
Yeah.
come
They
around.
give them
Inspectors
notice.
come and they get biscuits
And
and all that.
that's part of the safety audits that Lagos State is doing right now. We're going to schools to audit schools to make sure that
Impromptu.
not impromptu. They
should be
send
impromptu.
impromptu. No, but we want to give them a benefit of doubt that if you're sure that you've done your safety procedures, you're not hiding anything. So we would even come in to give you a letter stating, you know, the pros and cons. These are the things you should get ready. These are the things. Then when we come in, we look at you, we evaluate you. We evaluate you. You can't say that you want to do a CPR on someone and we as professionals, we're looking at what you're doing. We're looking at the chest compressions. We're looking at the depth at which you're doing it. Of course, you can't save a life.
Right.
If you're
Okay,
not,
are you among the people going?
we go, yes, we go. We have safety agents. So we go to, we've started, you know, we go to all the schools in Lagos State to make sure that safety processes and procedures are in place.
Please go to
So
Queen's
do-
College.
do you-
too.
So I have.
So do you certify?
No, I have a question.
Where's this last one?
I have been waiting.
Yes, she has.
So, I have a little child, and I look at it that I read a tweet. Someone just tweeted, Adebayo Knighton, said that what happened to the conventional way of taking care of parents taking care of their children by themselves? How do you deal with the attachment of no one can take care of my child the way I will do it? And how when you
Bearing parents.
of from the parents' part that nobody can they won't do it the way I will do it, and looking for that mother figure which Mariah didn't like, and you're saying we should look for professionals. I feel like a mother figure will know that how to deal with the child as opposed to professional way of saying the detached attitude. I had a maid and she was too detached from my children. I felt she won't be able to do the right thing. I wanted a caring person that might come from being a mother. And you saying we should do professional. How do you balance that?
All child care givers, they are meant to be loving, they're meant to be caring, they're meant to be patient. Those are the characteristics you're looking for. If you're caring, there's no way you'd want to look after a child and you won't show affection. You're showing affection at the same time you're teaching. The child is learning.
Even I'm not very caring too. Sometimes children can get on your nerves. So
Somebody is asking, nanny or creche, which one is better?
Nannies,
Which do you think is better?
Having a nanny come to the
having-
house.
Have a nanny or
Go
take
creche.
them to
well, what we'd say is if you want to have a nanny, make sure that you have, you know, your processes and procedures in place. What do I say? What do I mean about that? If you want to have a nanny at home, have a CCTV camera, you know, that monitors the child 24 hours, so you can actually see what is happening to your child.
That reminds me, my brother's children.
For those who can afford CCTV income.
He left.
Then it's better for them to take their children to
creche.
creche. Yes.
How
There's
about
also
the
a-
mingling
there's
of
also-
children? Children mingling with other children. The advantage of being in crèche that you develop
Learn
social
skills, the learn.
than just being isolated
Yes.
at
There's
home.
also the
I
method
want us
of,
to. Okay, go ahead.
method of, you know, alerting your neighbors when you have a nanny at home. Pe, mo gbọ́ ọmọ lé o, ẹ bá mi wò. That's, I wasn't to ask you
Yoruba.
when we come back.
I don't.
When we come back from the break, that the certification, do you, after, you know, evaluating a school, leave a certificate there to assure parents who are coming to know that you this school
Make it
has been
visible.
evaluated?
Yes, we
But
do.
before you
That's
answer, let me
something
take this
that
call
you
from Yakub. Yakub, I don't want to keep you. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Right.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. Yes.
And then I'll make it fast as possible. Let me just talk about Lamido before I come to this question, very particular one. Lamido has already done the wrong thing, and then he has to deal with it. That is that. Come to this very particular topic. So, madam, you are telling us that we are going to school. Are you going to public school also? Because if you go to public school in Lagos, in fact, you know what is going there. Go to primary school in the rural area. You see what is going on there, because all these things that you are telling us that because of something another, if you can go only to public school and then transaction you go to public school and a private school, you compare both of them and then you will come out and tell us what you see there. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you very much, Yakub. When we come back from the break, we'll have her answer the question of if she goes to public school. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
thanks for staying with us. So we've talked about choosing a crèche, knowing where to go and all that, how to spot good teachers and not. But now, safety. I want us to go into safety. I know Yakubu wanted to know if you go to public schools. I'll let you answer that. But safety and emergency. In situations in school when things happen, what are the steps of school? Maybe, for example, there's a fire outbreak or a child falls down or something. Because there was a case where, I'm not even sure if it was a school that I know, that a child was ill and was not properly attended to. I don't remember, we covered that story sometime, where the child was, I can't remember the story, but a child had to go to the sick bay, it was bandaged and it wasn't properly done, and the parents came and wondering, what did you do to my child? It wasn't properly taken care of. So how do we ensure safety in emergencies and in schools, in crèches?
Okay, to answer Yakubu's question, yes, we go to public schools. In fact, the major work is to deal with the public schools first, to go there and see, because we have shattered schools,
right?
You know, and that is not good enough for our children, whether in public schools or in private schools. Right. Okay, now back to the safety aspects of you know, what you talked about. Okay, let's look about a fire incident, for example. Every school should know their fire drills. Every school should have a muster point, where at the time you hear, okay, the alarm goes off, everyone, even the little ones, they know what to do. It happened recently in a school, you know, in Magodo, and I was really happy because they followed through their safety procedures. You know, immediately the alarm went off, all the children ran downstairs. All the caregivers went into the baby classes, you know, carried the babies, and they took them out to the muster point. And that is it. Every school should know steps by, as in they should know what to do in a case of emergency.
Right. Okay, and somebody told us last week that when schools have sick bays, the sick bays are not for nurses. The nurses are not supposed to be, the sick bay is where you stay, it's like a holding place, yes, until you go to the hospital. A lot of schools or crèches employ nurses to try to treat the children. What do you say to that?
No, that is not acceptable. They are not meant to treat. They can only, you know, apply first aid. But they are not meant to treat. They are not allowed to give drugs. They are not meant to do anything at all to the child. Just to, okay, a nurse would, you know, would know when the temperature is high. Do you get? Every school should have a thermometer to check, okay, if the baby is, you know, hot, you know, what's the temperature that you should be looking out for the child not to go into convulsion.
Yeah, right.
That's what the nurses are there for, not to administer drugs, not to take care of.
That's important to reiterate. But let's take this call and I'll come to talk with you. Terry, are you there? Thanks for calling. Sorry for
hello, good morning.
Morning, go ahead, please.
Nice talking with you.
Yes.
Please, I heard what you said last concerning the crèche. Ma, those days, children, they've been taken care of properly. But nowadays, schools, especially private schools, they're looking for cheap teachers. They don't have training. They don't go through grade 2, like those days, to Advanced Teachers College, which is being changed to NCE now. So they don't have any training. And many of those people that have those schools, they are not even a trained teacher. They don't pass through education at all. The thing is, they have money, let me start school. Then they will put somebody in front as a frontier, as an educationist, to run it.
Thank you very much, Terry. You're right. You're very correct, Terry. Totally correct.
I want to quickly talk about the fact that you said nurses and sick bay, that we have situations where nurses understand how to get the children to take their drugs. They are sick, they've been given medication, and they're supposed to take it at a particular time when they'll be in school. So having nurses in the sick bay for my children's school is to ensure that, okay, you need to use your drugs, go to the sick bay. They help you to administer the drugs and then they go back to class or rest here a while. But I wanted to take you somewhere else. Somebody tweeted, and Terry mentioned it now, that because we don't have, schools are now seen as a business initiative.
Yeah.
So the owner of the school's focus is on, let me have some teachers to ensure I get regulation. Let me now have other teachers that will just ensure that I don't have to pay as such. What do you do to ensure that every caregiver in the school is certified?
That's where the parent factor comes in. You know, the parents are now put on the front seat, on the steering wheels. Now you're allowed to go to school and ask, are all these people certified? Even in my, you know, children's school at a point, I asked them, are you certified in this? Are you certified in this? Are you certified in this? The response I got was like, oh, I'm certified. I said, okay, what about the caregivers? She said, no, I can transfer knowledge. I said, no, you don't transfer a knowledge. That's not, you don't transfer knowledge. It's not done. How would you know what to tell them? Even if you tell them, you've trained them, but the hands-on, there's what we call hands-on practical.
Right.
And that's where we certify if you're able to help in an emergency situation.
Okay, let me take this call from Lukman. Are you still there?
I'll ask a question after.
Thanks for calling, Lukman. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning. I also want to make a comment on this issue of Lamido.
Sorry?
I said I want to make a comment on Lamido.
Very quickly, please. Go ahead. Your view.
Yeah. The other policeman, the policeman that claimed that he's going to kill about 200 people if Buhari died.
That point has been made already.
The callers that are calling, they didn't know that the man was arrested. Yes. Okay. And they should always protect their facts. And Lamido was a governor.
Right.
So anything he said is very inflammatory. You cannot compare Lamido's statement with that of policeman because it's just like comparing orange and apple.
All right. Thank you very much, Lukman. Thanks for making that point. Very good.
Okay, wanted to inform us. I wanted to know, because of infectious diseases, crèches are supposed to have beds for the children. What is the standard of beds? Because place and sleeping arrangements. As a parent now, I want your advice on what to look out for when you go to a crèche. The arrangements of the beds and everything. What is the standard that I should meet there before I can decide that this place has been properly set up for a child?
Okay, for a crèche, each child should have a cot or a bed.
Okay.
It's wrong I've seen crèches that they put, mini mattresses on the floor and they put them like, they stack them. But no, that's not, safety at all, because you can have another child roll over on another child. So every child should have, a cot bed, a space, or that is secured. It's expensive. It's childcare. It's not cheap.
I attended a nursery school when I was 4, and we all each had our own cots.
Yeah.
It was very lovely. It wasn't a very expensive school because my father didn't have money then. Still, but that's another issue. I was going to say, you are saying every caregiver has to be certified. But they have helpers. It's just like we employ nannies that are not certified, but they know what to do. Even parents, let's be very honest. Even parents don't know what to do. If your child is having has this thing, you really don't know what to do.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, is it every single person that's going to be certified in the school? Then that means we employ nobody
that's a
in the
question.
school.
Okay, what they do is they can do a general training. There is a level, each school, and that's why I talked about, policies and procedures, for each school. Once they are getting to the point of employment, you should be able to see, okay, what do these have? Even in other, work areas, other vocational, cases and all that, you have different kinds of trainings that everybody goes through.
Right.
You can't say you want to deal with children and you're not first aid CPR certified. No, you can't. It's just like, taking them through, teaching. What do you teach them?
Okay, let's take some
So do you think parents should have the...
Parents, yes, sorry, let me go back.
Training before they have children?
Everybody, yes. And that is what is done in the United States. Once you're pregnant and you're ready, you're like 8-7 months, you go through a training class. You go through a mother and child class.
Where we can do that?
Unfortunately, we cannot take any more tweets. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Why care?
You that the whole weekend you were with your guy. You better be careful. This is miracles happen.
Just carry belly.
It's not my portion.
All right. The woman got pregnant the other day. She hadn't had a period in years and she got pregnant. So there's nothing God cannot do. Nothing God cannot do. That's what we can say.
God that will do it in your own case. You have number 4.
That's all we can take on the show. Thanks, Juwan, for being here. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the things you taught us. That's all we can take on the show. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.